Good day everyone, so let's talk a bit about Kokomi's signature weapon, the Everlasting Moonglow. What you'll see on the background is that I've got a bunch of low HP characters and we want to know, well, how much utility is this weapon going to offer us, what's it going to give us in terms of healing, energy restoration and so on. So this is the little experiment we'll set up, and I want to make this point very, very clear. I do not think that this weapon is worth going for unless you really like to match the aesthetic with Kokomi. But I think when it comes to the weapon and the alternatives that you have and or the competition for this weapon, it's just in and of itself not a very, very good weapon. I think Hoyo made a big mistake. But in any case, so as you can see on screen, 13k autos, and we're obviously healing the rest of our team. So we'll look at the total numbers in just a bit. So there we go, all of this is done. So here's the thing. On the assumption that you have a triple crown C6 Kokomi, what should you really expect for all of this time and investment? Well, Yelan's fully healed, Nehida's fully healed, but you can see here our Nilo is healed at 44k HP. So do remember this number, 44k HP, because it's going to be quite significant in just a moment. But this is the thing, when you get weapons and weapon refinements, you typically expect that a signature weapon at R1 is supposed to be better, and what we mean by better is like 10 to 15 or 20% better than the equivalent R5 4-star. This is more or less what we've seen in some of the weapon calcs and so on, so you'd obviously expect this as well from like Everlasting Moonglow relative to Prototype Amber, but unfortunately this is not always the case. Now let me be very clear, when it comes to DPS, as you'll see, Everlasting Moonglow is better. There's just no argument. But when it comes to energy restoration and healing, it just beats Everlasting Moonglow even at its highest refinement. It's just the better alternative, and I think that's what makes it so sad. So what Hoyo has probably done is that they've tried to mathematically balance Everlasting Moonglow without actually looking at what the numbers mean practically. So look at this. So we are obviously getting 10k autos here as opposed to like the 13k, that's as you'd expect. But when it comes now to the healing and the energy restoration, you'll see we've got slightly a bit more energy, but you'll now see that our Yelan's fully healed and our Nilo sits at 58k HP, so that's 14k HP more effectively that the weapon has provided. So here is the thing. Mathematically, how does this make sense? How was Everlasting Moonglow ever balanced? Because they should have increased either the healing bonus, or they should have added an additional substat to it, or they should have added something to Everlasting Moonglow to make sure that in all scenarios it always at R1. I mean, I'm showing you an R5 one here, but at least at R1 it should have been competitive. So this is what I mean. I think the guys tried to balance Everlasting Moonglow from a DPS perspective relative to Everlasting Moonglow, and unfortunately, whilst it might have worked out mathematically and was in line with their weapons and how their balance philosophy works and so on, practically it was a very bad decision, and you can see it. We can see how badly it worked out. But there's something else that a lot of people missed. The change in hydro resonance from incoming healing bonus to HP percentage was also another direct nerf to Everlasting Moonglow, but Hoyo will obviously never admit this. They say they'll never nerf or buff characters, but they very clearly nerfed the functionality of this weapon. And think of it, when you change from incoming healing bonus, you obviously lose out on the per tick hits that Kokomi makes using either Everlasting Moonglow Prototype Amber, but because you now change to giving everyone an additional 25% HP, Prototype Amber gives you much more healing because it's set as a fixed percentage of that character's total HP. So effectively, the one weapon gets, like, you lose out on a bit of healing on the one side, but then it's compensated for on the other end, and that compensation or that number didn't really play out as well for Everlasting Moonglow, but for Prototype Amber it is a massive bump up, and the larger a character's HP pool is, the more significant this becomes. So this is actually the point that I want to try and make. Even if you could argue that Everlasting Moonglow could potentially heal your characters faster or whatever, the the point is there's not enough of a competitive edge between these two. There's nothing that is like special or so unique that you'd say, yeah, this is why we use this weapon. I think if they had given you like a 40% HP bonus, that given you additional attack percent, speed increases, or some other unique thing to Kokomi, it would have been a good alternative. Like in Honkai Impact, you have this idea that you have a weapon, but the weapon of itself specifically states character equip bonus. When equipped specifically on this character, you get this extra functionality, and I wish Hoya would have done the same, because that would also avoid the Xiangling problem where most of the pole arms just work with her. If you have special equip bonuses, it would just work out. It would, yeah, you kind of get what I'm trying to say. But in any case, I mean, it is what it is. So Hoya themselves did this. They kind of purposefully tanked their own sales by not doing a good design. So that's obviously on them. But obviously for us as Kokomi enthusiasts, it is kind of a bummer that they nerfed the weapon effectively through changing the resonance, and that they never really gave it a good competitive edge. It is what it is. Right, thanks for watching.